Hi everybody and welcome to the PlantStock channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jesse. And today I thought we would talk about Beyond Meat. We have some good news regarding the company and we have some not so good news. And we're going to talk more about that. But there's a lot that is happening now on the market, so we're also just going to quickly mention that. And as always, before we get into this even more, I would appreciate an early thumbs up since it helps spread the video to more people out there. And if you want to subscribe to the channel because you are interested in plant-based companies like Beyond Meat, Tattoo Chef, a very good food company to name a few, make sure to subscribe. And by the way, folks, if you haven't joined my free Discord channel where we talk about all of these plant-based companies, but also other forms of companies out there or other stocks out there, make sure to take a look down below in the description, and why not join us? So let's just take a look at the stock chart first here, right? So right now it is actually plummeting down even more like crazy. It's about minus 5% just after being open about 1.5 hours. So some of you might be wondering what is going on. It's now over minus 5%. We're seeing a price of $107.69. So what's been going on is that Jerome Powell from the Fed has actually started to change his mind somewhat. Now he is stating that there's risk for higher inflation may last longer than he anticipated. So obviously that is going to have an effect on the overall market. And we can see here, it is not only Beyond Meat. I mean, look at the S&P 500 is down 1.5 or 1.55. Dow 30 is down. NASDAQ is down 2.33%, which is not so strange when it comes to technology companies. It usually takes a huge beating here. And Russell 2000 is down 144%. If we also just take a look at some of the companies that I normally track, Oatly is down just a little right now. VRYYF is down almost 4%. And Tattoo Chef 2.5%. Square that I have is 5.5%. Tesla 1.24%. And even Apple, stable Apple, blue chip company, almost 2% down. So this is not only connected to Beyond Meat, but a company that is as disruptive as Beyond Meat is, they will take a heavy beating here, right? So, and that is not so strange. But during this same time, we have also found out that it seems that the US 10-year Treasury yield has soared to its highest levels in a long time. So this is also impacting everything. So a lot of negative things happening in the market at the same time. And we know the whole China story also. So not so strange. We just have to keep an eye on this. But again, folks, just not to be too casual here. But again, long-term perspective, guys, this is short-term noise. And if you are invested in a company like Beyond Meat for the long term, this isn't something that should worry you. You should care more about the fundamentals of the company and the way you understand the company, the sector, the CEO, what you see them actually bringing to the table in the next 5 to 10 years. And if you feel good about that, then whatever's going on right now shouldn't affect your thesis on the company, right? So just to try to calm down if some people are really nervous out there. But so what's been going on with the company now in the last few days? Well, yesterday we actually found out that when it comes to their latest expansion in the plant-based chicken platform, they're actually rolling them out to more stores right now. And it is going well. We know from the summertime that they only actually introduced these new chicken tenders, as we see here on the picture, to about 400 stores, but now they're rolling them out to even more stores. And they've been doing really well as of late. And the ones that we've had in the restaurants have gotten really good reviews. So they are trying to roll out them to more people so they'll be able to have a chance to just buy them and do what they need to be doing with them at home. And as it states here in the article, they're doubling down on poultry as early pioneers in the category. And we've talked about that before, that when it comes to other companies producing any chicken alternatives, usually they haven't been very good or popular. But Beyond Meat, having the kind of technology they have, the resources they have, as we know, they use about 200 scientists that works on these kind of products on a daily basis, you usually get a really good product, right? And apparently they won now a prize from the National Restaurant Associations, awarded the food service Beyond Chicken Tenders the prestigious 2021 for its groundbreaking taste and versatility, making the company's 5th straight FOBI win, right? So this is what the chief growth officer had to say. Quote, following the success of our plant-based chicken in restaurants, fans were eager to get their hands on a retail product that's readily accessible and can be cooked at home anytime. We're thrilled to be answering consumer demand by launching Beyond Chicken Tenders at prominent retailers nationwide, continuing our momentum in the plant-based poultry category. But there's more news here that's really good, even though they're starting to actually come out to more and more stores. Starting in October, you can find them in some of the Walmart stores, Jewel Osco, Safeway, NorCal, Harris Teeter, Giant Foods, and ShopRite. What's actually to some extent even more bigger right now is that several of their other plant-based meat options are actually getting shipped out to even more stores. One of them is that Walmart plans to actually increase the number of stores that offers their famous Beyond Breakfast Sausage Classic. And that's going to be more than 1,500 stores, and Beyond Breakfast Sausage Spicy Patties to be more than 1,300 stores. And as they state here, as well as increasing availability of Beyond Meatballs and Beyond Beef Crumbles. So this is certainly some really good news. But among the negativity in the market, I think one of the reasons why Beyond is also actually tumbling down as much as it is, there's an interesting article that came out yesterday called Beyond Meat's Supplier Warns of Higher Pea Protein Prices. Now, I don't know actually how much this affects the overall stock price at this moment, but I do think it's not something you have to be terrified about, but I do think it's a concern when it comes to the short term. So not long term as we care about, but for those who care about the short term, obviously this will have an impact to some extent. So it says here, a supplier to Beyond Meat said consumers of plant proteins should brace for higher prices following a spike in pea proteins. Now, as we know, one of their ingredients in their products, especially when it comes to the protein, is peas. Not in everything, not in their new chicken alternative, which is faba beans, right? But when it comes to their meat alternatives, it's pea as one of the main ingredients. And the demand obviously is growing because a lot of other plant-based companies are actually starting to use them. They're very versatile, they're heavy in proteins, and they're healthy. But that means also that it's going to be an issue when more and more people want it. But the real issue right now is that the supply is getting hurt by adverse weather all around the world, but especially when there's been a drought in Canada, as we know, which has cut pea output there by 45%, causing prices to more than double from last year. As this also states here, quote, the dramatic increase in prices will inevitably lead to costs being transferred to customers. And I think that is not super surprising, is it? Because most companies would do that. If your material costs all of a sudden gets way higher, they have to balance that out to some extent by raising the price maybe. So not so strange, but I think I just want to warn you guys, as it says here, that Beyond Meat didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. So we actually don't know if this is going to affect them that much, but it seems likely, right? So I will obviously follow up on this if we get more news on this. So I think this could be part of the reason why we are seeing the company stock actually pulling down as much, now around 540, 536%, right? That could be one of the reasons among many. So again, should we be worried about this? From a long-term perspective, I don't think you need to worry. I mean, as I've stated many times, when it comes to this company, I'm in this company for the next 5 to 10 years, most probably, which means that these kind of issues doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. And when we see the company stock going down the way it goes or has gone right now, perfect opportunity to buy more. But given what's happening in the market right now, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we, in the next couple of weeks, actually see this company stock going under $100. And that, for us, should be a positive thing, because again, you need to understand the fundamentals of the companies. Yes, when it comes to the fundamentals, when it comes to the economic side of it, I know it doesn't look very encouraging at the moment, but you have to realize right now they have about $1 billion in debt, but that money is supposed to be used for their ongoing expansion all over the world, right? And that's something you want to see. You want to have a company that is ready with the money, right? If they have to make changes at different facilities and whatever's going on, you have to be prepared to just quickly push in that money, right? And if there is a risk that the overall prices of their products would temporarily go up in price, that is an issue, of course, again, short term, but I don't see that being an issue very long, because Ethan Brown and the company, one of their biggest goals, as we know, is to reach price parity with meat, right? To be as cheap as possible. And that's supposed to happen within the next 2 to 2.5 years. And not only price parity, actually to become cheaper than meat itself, at least one of their products. I'm thinking maybe one of their burgers, right? So if that's their overall goal, right, that's one of the main missions of the company, right, then it wouldn't make sense that they'll let this happen for the long term. All right, folks, that was it for today. I truly hope you got a lot of value from today's video. And if you did, make sure, as always, to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding Beyond Meat or other plant-based companies out there, like, for instance, Tattoo Chef, the very good food company, or Oatly, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. And as always, this was not financial advice. These were just my own thoughts and opinions. Do your own due diligence. That's super important. Thank you and have a great Tuesday. Peace out.